saying I'm voting no, like I'm for it, but I'm trying to understand why is it okay to say just the members and not
Congresswoman
staff?
Mace, I do have a title like everybody else in this room.
Come on, Nancy. We're just trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to get an assertion.
Congresswoman Mace, I have earned a title, and I watched the majority of men in this body just vote down a measure
Nancy, I have not. Congresswoman Mace, I've never taken it too far. I'm trying to get an understanding of what we're doing here.
What started as a push for transparency turned into a masterclass in procedural friction and personal tension. Representative Nancy Mace brought forward a high-stakes motion.
And I'll yield to Ms. Mace.
This would be a subpoena for information on the sexual harassment slush fund. That's really, I want those documents and information related to it and members that were included in it.
She's calling for a subpoena. The target? Documents related to the sexual harassment slush fund. Taxpayer dollars used to settle claims against people working on Capitol Hill. Mace wants names. She wants the members involved. She wants the hush money out in the open. But almost immediately, things got complicated. Representative Robert Garcia introduced an amendment to limit the scope.
This amendment would limit this, of course, would limit this to members, senators, and we would, with that, I would recommend that we vote yes to support this amendment.
His argument: we should only look at the members of Congress and senators, not the staff. Why? Because the Office of General Counsel is worried about legal blowback and the privacy of staff members who might have been victims themselves. This is where the room got hot. Representative Byron stepped in, and he wasn't buying the staff exemption. He argued that if taxpayer money is being spent to cure harassment, the public has a right to know where every penny went, whether the offender was a powerful senator or a high-ranking staffer.
If congressional dollars have been utilized for the purposes of essentially trying to cover up or cure harassment that's occurred, why are staff members being exempted from that level of transparency?
No, I think that's a good question. So in our conversations with the Office of General Counsel, I think the one concern, and it's been brought up by some members as well, is that there are some staff in congressional offices and other places that have they have made settlements for a variety of different reasons.
But as Donalds tried to press for answers, the conversation took a sharp personal turn. Nancy Mace, clearly frustrated after a previous vote failed on the House floor, wasn't in the mood for a lecture. When Donalds addressed her by her first name, the exchange turned into a brief but biting standoff over respect and titles.
The transparency aspects, I'm 100% for that. We should do that.
Then vote for it.
But Nancy, that's not, I'm not saying I'm voting no, like I'm for it, but I'm trying to understand why is it okay to say just the members and not staff?
Congresswoman Mace, I do have a title like everybody else in this room.
Come on, Nancy. We're just trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to get an assertion.
Congresswoman Mace, I have earned a title, and I watched the majority of men in this body just vote down a measure
Nancy, I have never,
not disclose sexual
Congresswoman Mace, I've never disrespected you at all.
Congressman, I do have a title like everybody else in this room, Mace retorted. Donalds insisted he wasn't being disrespectful. He was just trying to get to the bottom of the limiting principle. He's worried that if the committee only focuses on the hot topics, the elected officials, they aren't actually achieving true transparency. The tension in the room represents a much bigger battle. On one side, you have members like Mace and Donalds saying, the American people are held to one standard, why are we held to another? On the other, you have Garcia and others worried about the chilling effect on victims in small offices and the legal minefield of breaking confidentiality agreements.
This thing has to pass. I mean, the American people, we expect the American people to be held accountable to a totally different standard. And now we're saying, oh, because we don't have staff included, we're just going to vote this thing down.
If there's a technical concern, then what we're saying also is that the technical concern is not universal. That we're now picking and choosing what the technical concern is. And if we're going to now slay motions for this transparency, I would just say we should actually examine, according to what the chairman is saying, are we going to be consistent or are we not? That's all I'm saying. I yield back.
In the end, everyone claims to want transparency. But as we saw today, transparency looks very different depending on whose name is about to be printed in the report. We're tracking this closely. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our follow-up report. Also, drop a comment and become part of the conversation.